Hello, Professor and everybody. My name is Surya Sharma, CPR101 student. I'm from section NA. Well, today I'm going to be doing a presentation on ICT news presentation. The topic of my presentation is a very famous programming language, namely Python. So let's do it without any delays. This is the content we will be exploring. So let's talk about the Python itself. So what is Python? Python is an object-oriented, which means based around data and high level. It means easier for humans to understand programming language. Python is known for its applicability, versatility that goes beyond web development and coding. So it is used in web and software development, data analytics, machine learning, design, and many more. It is one of the mostly used programming languages in the world. If you want to talk about the percentage, it is 48.28% of developers use Python in today's world, used by big companies such as Google, NASA, the YouTube, Facebook, and so on. So let's talk a bit about the history of Python itself. It was initially designed by the Dutch software engineer Guido van Rossum in 1980s. It was mainly developed for emphasis on code readability. The interesting name Python came from a very famous BBC comedy series of 1970s, namely Monty Python's Flying Circus. The developer Guido van Rossum was reading the published scripts from the same comedy series while implementing the Python, so he wanted to give a very catchy, very short and unique name to the language. That's why the Python came in his mind, and he just gave the name to the programming languages. So in 1997, when Google adopted Python as its primary language, it became very popular, and in 2005, when Python introduced its open source web framework, Django, everything became so popular, and then as a result in 2011 Python became the most taught languages in the world, and in 2021 its popularity is just growing bigger and bigger. Well, this is how the Python syntax looks like. It is more like English. It is very easy to read, write, and remember for programmers. It supports scripting, and it is used to build large commercial apps. Python is very popular, we know that, but what makes it so popular? So let's talk about it. Because Python is very easy to use, it is an excellent choice for the beginner or expert programmers to depend on. So its syntaxes are more like English, and it is used in data visualization, artificial intelligence, and almost every sector in today's world because of its versatility. It is very powerful. It has a very big thriving community, and on top of that, it is an open source language. So that makes Python very popular among all the programs. So let's talk about what is Python used for. Python is normally used in every sector in today's world. For example, artificial intelligence and machine learning, data analytics, web development, scripting, design, the finance industry, and then scientific computing. And as can be seen in the picture, there are very big companies that completely rely or partially rely on Python for their coding and their software and so on. For example, Google, IBM, Facebook, Netflix, even the NASA, YouTube, and so on. Python is very popular and it has a lot of advantages, so let's talk about those. It is a high-level programming language that has an English-like syntax. So it has a very huge standard library. You can find almost any functions to complete your tasks. It is a productive language. It is very simple, and due to its simplicity, developers can focus on solving the problem rather than writing the code itself. And there are many other advantages that can be seen on the screen Python has. That's why Python is very popular. Although Python is very popular, it definitely has some drawbacks. So let's explore some of those as well. Python is an interpreted and dynamically typed language, as we all know. Therefore, the line-by-line execution of code often leads to slow executions. Also, the Python uses a large amount of memory. This can sometimes be a disadvantage while building applications when we prefer memory optimization. It is the server-side programming, so we don't often get to see Python on the client side or mobile applications. However, Python is very popular. That's why it always outweighs its negativity or drawbacks. Well, this is all for the presentation today. I hope my presentation was very informative. I would like to thank so much for my professor and my colleagues for watching and listening my video presentation. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.